Good morning, everybody. It is so great to be back with you this morning.
We had to take our own podcast back over.
Yep, ready back after a couple weeks off. Letting these kids say whatever they want to say. I thought that was a good episode, though.
I did too.
I thought they did a great job.
They did. I love them.
It's always, you're sitting on pins and needles wondering what are they actually going to say in the moment.
Truly allow ourselves to be extremely vulnerable.
Yeah.
When we let the girls go on.
So that was kind of fun. If you haven't checked it out, episode 250, talking about things parents should never say to their kids. So I thought it was a powerful episode, but it's nice to be back in the saddle again, back behind the mic, getting ready to share our lives with all of you. Got some fun content we're going to talk about today. Talking about being your spouse's best fan.
Biggest fan
of your life. So
that's a song lyric.
Yeah.
And I'll be your crying shoulder.
Yeah, we better look and make sure that's actually what the lyrics say. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about that. Also, yesterday we just kicked off something brand new. So a couple episodes ago, we did the Breaking
the family cycle.
Yeah, and so don't.
It kind of sounded like you were talking about something else.
Don't break your cycle. For some people, that can be a very bad thing. But breaking the cycle, we're doing an 8-week coaching experience. We actually have 2 versions of it to help you break whatever the cycle is you need to break in your life and kind of set you free from whatever it is that's holding you down or holding you back or holding you hostage. We have a group experience that is going to kick off September 4th, and we'll have a private Facebook group that is just for those who are going to be taking that trip with us for 8 weeks. And each week we'll cover a very specific section on how to break the cycle that you need to break. We'll have some specific worksheets. There will be daily encouragement, check-ins, challenges to try to help you break whatever the cycle is that you need. But for some of you, you're like, you know what, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
I'd find a group of people who are motivated to do the same thing I'm doing, maybe in their own unique way. But for some of you, you're like, you know what, a group is not really what I want. I really need more one-on-one, more specific. And so we have an 8-week one-on-one coaching that we can tailor it to exactly what it is that you're trying to break. And that can start as soon as you go to familymeeting.org/shop. You'll see the 2 options there. You choose one-on-one coaching. You don't have to wait till September 4th. We can get started today. So as soon as you begin the process, then we'll shoot you kind of a welcome, what would you call it, survey to kind of get the specifics on what it is that you need to cover, and that will help us be able to tailor it right to you. So if you say, I don't want to wait till September 4th, I want the personal one-on-one time to help me break the cycle, you can get started today. Otherwise, hey, September 4th, we're going to get that kicked off. You can actually jump in today and just get ready, get a head start on what we're going to do beginning September 4th. We'll get you into the group immediately right away, and so you can begin that process. But I'm looking forward to that time together.
Yeah.
And seeing what God is able to do in your life to help you break the cycle you need to break. So
I always love any opportunity that we get to interact with our viewers on YouTube or our podcast listeners. So this will be great.
Yeah.
Another opportunity.
Yeah, I mean we have an opportunity all the time to in more of a one-directional way. Sometimes on social media, like right now we're having a good conversation on our page. We're actually going to go live tonight and share some of those answers. If you want to get your answers in, you can do that. But we're talking about couples that have been married 10 plus years. Like, what is the advice that you'd give? And so that is, we've had a lot of great comments from that. But, we interact a little bit with that. But, man, there's something about, just being one-on-one or in a small group setting with people where you can get to know them and work through some things. So take advantage of those opportunities. It'll be a help and a blessing to you. Any other things going on that we need to talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay. With
We're
that,
ready to roll.
we will jump into today's episode. Gather round, everybody. It's time for a family meeting. The Family Meeting is a show that's all about family relationships. We're the Osterkamps. I'm Thomas, and this is my wife, Lysandra.
Hello, and welcome to our family. Welcome to episode 251 of the Family Meeting podcast. We are happy to be back with you again today.
Yes, we are back.
Last week, episode 250, our daughters took over the podcast. So the four of them did this podcast together, and we enjoyed thoroughly listening to it ourselves and watching them do it. But man, it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, because you just don't know what they're going to say.
Like, no matter what parent you are, you always kind of don't know what your kids are going to say about you or in general, like just about the family or the home or like whatever. And you're always like, oh gosh, don't say the wrong thing.
Are they going to tell what actually happens at our house or are they going to make us look good?
But then when we do this like kind of thing where it's like, not only are we letting our kids talk to the general public and giving them microphones, we're also giving them content that's like on a certain topic, and they're going to tell like the truth. They're going to tell what we're really like.
Yeah.
And it's scary because here's the deal. We are not perfect.
We aren't.
Oh, but you are?
Hey, you said it. I didn't.
Dude, nobody's buying what you're selling.
You are.
You are not perfect, and neither am I. And so you never know what they're going to say. And so it's a little nerve wracking, but it's also like so fun as parents to see your kids doing a podcast.
Yeah, their personalities and everything. I'll say this, though. It was estrogen overload. And so this week I feel like I have to bring a little extra testosterone to the conversation here. And so I'm ready to do that.
Okay.
Ready to do that.
Are you going to be manly this episode?
Well, I mean, not totally, because let's face it, I don't know how to do that, but...
Oh, I need to tell everybody what the episode's about.
Okay, yeah, let's hear it.
I got off topic real quick. Today's episode, we're going to discuss who is your spouse's biggest fan. It should be you. Spoiler.
Should be you.
Yeah, it should be you. But why? And how can you be your spouse's biggest fan? So that's our topic for today, and we're excited to get into it.
Kind of along the opposite lines of this, I shared just this little article that I came across in social media. You know, when I'm working out in the mornings, you know, in between sets, you just kind of scroll and do whatever.
Yeah.
And I came across this little article that it cracked me up. And so I just shared it into the Facebook group to see who can identify with this guy. So those of you who are listening, I want you to know, tell me if you can identify with this. You're on YouTube, just type it in the comments. I get what this guy's all about. So the picture caught my attention. So it's a guy walking down the road, and it says, Italian man walks 450 kilometers to cool off after argument with wife. Now, if you're like me, you're like, I have no idea how many 450 kilometers are. So here's what the article says. Man walks 280 miles across Italy after argument with his wife. After a fight with his wife, a man from northern Italy decided to take a walk to cool off and just kept going. What started as a stroll turned into a 280-mile journey over the course of a week. With no plan or destination, he walked all the way to southern Italy before police found him, cold, tired, but safe. His wife, who had reported him missing, had to drive down to bring him back home. He says the long walk helped him clear his head, talk about taking a breather. Which I'm guessing there was a whole nother argument, different argument on the way back home. Yeah. So where is he going to walk this time? But that was funny.
The police found him. So, you know, in that 280-mile walk that took over a week or whatever, or a week, that woman was panicking.
Oh, yeah.
Something happened to him. She got the police involved. Like, man, talk about making things worse. So,
well, we're all about like, hey, if you feel too heated in the moment, just cool off a little bit. But
we always talk about setting an appointment to finish the fight.
Yeah.
And making sure, and you don't just walk out on your spouse, but you tell them like, I need a break. I'm coming right back.
Which they had a 280-mile car ride to sort it out afterward, I guess.
I'd be interested to find out if these two make it.
I know. If we knew Italian, we could get them on the podcast and talk about it. But since we don't, I don't know.
Yeah.
But just, let me think. We are less than a week and a half away from relationship refresh here in Flagler Beach.
Yeah.
Man versus wife.
I'm really excited about this one because, of course, we've been preparing our sessions and getting everything lined up for the sessions. And I think they're going to be so helpful. Just kind of diving into the differences in the way men and women think and approach subjects. And of course, one session is going to be on sex and the differences in the way men and women approach sex. And
can you give a teaser for what each episode in the podcast mindset?
Yeah.
For what each session is going to be about?
Sure. The first one is going to be man versus wife in the way that we think. So specifically brain activity and then also like the way we think in general.
So like when you say brain activity, like men's brains are fully active, women's brains are like...
It's actually opposite.
Not... Oh, it is?
Yeah. Yeah, men are stupid.
Oh. Yeah, spoiler.
That's what we'll be teaching. Men are stupid. No. Neither of them are less valuable or more valuable, men or women, but we are different, and we're talking about leveraging...
Really trying to walk that back, aren't you?
Our differences. I'm correcting myself because I made a joke, all right? But yeah, just leveraging our differences, and the first one is on thinking, so kind of more emotional thinking compared to practical thinking.
Like, you mean logical and reasoning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and I see even right now, if you are watching on YouTube, you can see Thomas's face and you can see that he disrespects emotional thinking. And I
don't disrespect it. It's different.
It's different. Yeah.
But I truly believe this, and this is really the heart of what the sessions will all be about is we are different. We're created uniquely. That's not a bad thing. Like, exactly. As we come together, it makes us a great unit.
Right, because when you approach a subject or like a plan, even in church work or ministry work, you're looking at it and you approach it with a like, this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing, this is what should be happening. And I come in and I'm like, but how's that going to make a person feel? What will be the fallout if you do that? Well, have you had the conversations you need to have? Like, so we help each other.
Yeah.
With it. So that is the whole, like you said, the heart of the whole thing. And then the second session is on sex and the differences in how we approach sex visually versus emotionally and desire and drive and all of those kinds of things. So that's session 2.
You're doing it. Yeah.
I keep reading the word episode here on our notes.
All right. So third one says it's going to be Saturday.
Yeah. The third one is just all about leveraging the differences in men and women. And so each point is going to be kind of a different side of how men and women are different. So I won't give each point, but.
Okay. Yeah. And it kind of highlights a problem that can be created. And then we're going to talk about, how to correct that problem, avoid that problem, turn it into a strength.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
it'll be a great time. Still time to get your tickets for that. Just $25 a couple. Go to familymeeting.org/shop and you will see the relationship refresh logo graphic there where you can get your tickets.
Mm-hmm. So who is your spouse's biggest fan? And, maybe it's his mother.
Yeah.
Maybe it's her sister.
Your mom's sister?
No, your wife's sister.
My wife's sister?
Mm-hmm. It could be...
Did I mishear what you said?
No, I'm saying like maybe the husband's biggest fan is his mother, and maybe the wife's biggest fan is her sister.
Gotcha. Okay, I was like,
all right, guys.
Why would
brain function?
Why would your aunt be? Why would your aunt? I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe your aunt could be your biggest fan, but that seems kind of weird.
Could be.
Listen, it could be a lady in your church. And she is your absolute biggest fan.
It could be. Listen, all
Shout
I
out
can
to
say
Wanda.
is it is difficult for me to constantly go on this podcast and help Thomas along when he gets confused and can't figure things out. And I have to
Yeah, it sounds like you're my biggest fan right now.
But yeah, actually, I was thinking about Wanda. I think Wanda is our biggest fan.
Yeah, but she loves me a little more.
Oh, she does not. In fact, she made it clear to me this last trip to Iowa.
Well, she's going to say that to you because you're the only one there. So she's trying to make you feel good.
Are you trying to say Wanda's a liar? Because she is not.
No, I'm not
She's a
saying
very
that. I'm
honest
just
woman.
saying you're the one there. So of course she's going to say that to you.
Whatever. So it should be your spouse. Your spouse should be your biggest fan.
Yeah.
You should be your spouse's biggest fan. And the question that we're going to answer first is why? Why should you be your spouse's biggest fan? Why does this matter? Why is it important? So we're going to look at some of that stuff first, and then we're going to follow it up with some practical stuff and like how can you be your spouse's biggest fan? But understanding that being your spouse's biggest fan isn't just about being nice. Okay. It's about creating a foundation where love, respect, partnership can really thrive, where your spouse knows that you are in their corner. You are supporting them. You are cheering them on. Remember that song we heard? It was the first time we heard it. We were shopping in TJ Maxx for
Is there
beach
a reason
stuff.
you're poking me in my belly while you're saying?
Yeah, I'm poking you. Why aren't you saying who?
Yeah. Woo!
Sorry.
Doughboy. You're
this
calling
is-
me a doughboy.
this is
That's
how I
not very
think,
fan-like.
I'm in a mood today. You know what it is? I started the podcast by still drinking my coffee.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a
She's
little
hyped.
hopped up.
Yeah, she is hyped.
We were in TJ Maxx. We were shopping for beach stuff for our house.
Yeah.
This was back in Iowa, but we had decided to go full on beach theme in Iowa. And we had found a few little beach things. And the song that came on over the loudspeaker, do you remember what it was?
Cheerleader.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't think you'd remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was the first time we'd ever heard that song Cheerleader. And you were talking about how
We were up in
I
Dubuque
was your-
area.
Yeah, Dubuque. Yep.
Yeah.
And I was your cheerleader. But anyway, so that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be our spouse's cheerleader and their biggest fan. And here's one of the reasons why, because it strengthens your team mentality. Marriage works best when you see yourselves as a team. It's not Thomas, and then over here is Lysandra. It is Sandra.
Tandra.
No, I don't like that as much. Leamis?
No.
No. Okay. Well,
It's Tandra. That is our name.
I don't-
That is our couple name.
I don't like that for our couple name. It's
Yep.
not very pretty.
Tandra.
Tandra.
Yeah.
But you got to see yourself as a team now. You got married, okay? You made that decision. And supporting each other like fans on the sideline reinforces that you're working together, not competing against each other or pulling each other apart, but that you are on the same team.
And here's the thing. When you become one flesh, their success became your success. Their pain, your pain. Cheering them on is cheering for your own home and legacy. And we are reminded of what the goal and purpose of marriage is, going all the way back to the beginning in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. It says, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife." Notice this, "and they shall become one flesh." And he's not just talking about having sex. He's talking about you become one unit together, one person. And so we have, too many couples who are out there who are so selfish and pushing their own needs and their own agenda and their own wants instead of concentrating on the fact that, hey, you are a couple. And so when your spouse does well, that's good for you. And you ought to be able to cheer them on for that.
That's right. And cheering on your spouse is going to build a culture of mutual respect as well. When both partners cheer each other on, it reinforces respect and admiration, and it creates this cycle of encouragement rather than criticism or resentment. And so often that's what we find in a marriage is like one spouse is resenting the other for working or working too much. And the other spouse is resentful that, they're upset that they're working so much when they're working for the family. And it goes back and forth on all of this. And the deal is we are supposed to cheer each other on, not have resentment, not have criticism, not be tearing one another down. I think about all of the things that, like the little team sports when on kids sports, they're like, we need a pitcher, not a belly itcher.
Cheers?
Yeah.
You're talking about cheers?
Like the negative cheers. Like what they do to get into the other team's head.
Yeah.
And they try to like throw them off their game.
Yeah.
By like cheering against them, right?
Like the girls do at volleyball when somebody hits it out, the other team hits it out.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I don't want our kids to do that.
Yeah.
Like I'm totally against any negative cheering, even in sports. But I'm also like not a great sports fan because I'm one of those that's like, you did such a good job, good try. And Thomas is like, don't say good try. It wasn't a good try. They failed.
Yeah.
So we
somebody
approach
sucks,
sports
tell them they
differently.
suck. I mean, that's the thing.
And I'm like, good try, you'll get it next time. And he's like, will they get it next time?
I haven't got the last 8 times, so they're due for one, I guess. I don't know.
We approach sports very differently. But I'm so against that, like cheering for someone to fail. But it's like sometimes we do that in our marriages where we're like hoping that they fail because we will look better. Or if they fail, then we have more time with them or whatever it is. So just be thinking about that. Like you should be cheering them on in a positive way, not calling them a belly itcher.
No, you cheer on your spouse and you cheer against all the other couples so they fail. So you as a couple look better.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's what it is.
Now we're learning.
Yeah. All these people are like, wait a minute. I thought you were here to help us and cheer us on. I'm like, nah, I'm just hoping you make us look good. I mean, no, we're here to make them look good.
What? Because we're bad?
Yeah.
This is getting weird.
I know. It would be weird if it wasn't weird.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. It's always weird.
But the thing is, true love builds up. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we have 1 Corinthians 13 that talks all about what real love looks like. And we know that, hey, true love believes the best, celebrates every win, and being your spouse's biggest fan means hoping for, believing in, and cheering on their growth. And of course, we reference 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 and 7, give us some of these things that we just mentioned and talk about, that love is patient and kind. It does not envy or boast. We talk about it not being selfish, right? But it bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And so if you really love somebody, and you really should love your spouse, then you are going to want to cheer them on. You're going to want to see great things happen for them. And, be excited about that.
Yeah, and I love how it says, how you said something about cheering on their growth, like celebrating their growth. And you can cheer your spouse on even if they didn't maybe accomplish their goal, but they took a step in the right direction. So you think about that, like maybe your spouse's goal is to, lose a certain amount of weight or, be in a healthy lifestyle. And maybe they went half a day and did well on their eating plan. Like celebrate that with them. Cheer them on. Be like, wow, that was awesome. You worked really hard at that. That was hard. And I know it. And I see what you did. Great job.
Well, and Catherine said something last episode, they were talking about the worst things parents could say to their kids. And we shared some of our listeners' comments, and one of them had to do with talking about them being a failure or whatever else. And so Catherine was talking about the fact that failing is not a bad thing. Like, we learn from failure. We grow from failure. Like, there's so many great lessons that can be learned from failure. And so just because your spouse maybe doesn't hit exactly whatever the goal was, doesn't mean there wasn't growth, there wasn't learning that has taken place. And so we can celebrate that even.
Mm-hmm. That's right. When you are cheering your spouse on and you're being their biggest fan, it's going to create emotional safety within your relationship. And this is a super important part of a marriage relationship, emotional safety. If you feel emotionally safe in your marriage and your spouse feels emotionally safe in your marriage will thrive.
Yeah.
Because nobody's worried about getting beat down. Nobody's scared. Nobody's on their guard. Nobody's got the walls up because you're emotionally safe. So this is really important. And if you are cheering your spouse on and if you are being their biggest fan, this is going to be the result, emotionally safe in the relationship, and a spouse who knows that you're in their corner. No matter what, they feel secure. And that emotional safety allows them to be vulnerable. They can take down those walls. They're going to be honest with you. They don't have to hide anything about themselves or about their thoughts or feelings. And therefore, they're going to feel more connected with you. And that is going to benefit you when your spouse can feel completely connected with you. And just keep in mind how important words are. And this was the episode last week that the girls did, words that you should never say to your children. And think about words in terms of your marriage and your marriage relationship, because words are really important. It says in Proverbs 16:24 that gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul, health to the body. So you can actually bring health to your spouse in the words that you say. So let's take that example of your spouse trying to live a healthy lifestyle, okay? So your spouse sets off for clean eating, and in the morning, they just have eggs, and for lunch, they just have like a very calm salad, green salad.
Calm salad?
Calm, like no flair. It's just a calm salad. It's not covered in dressing.
Saying?
It's not covered in cheese. It's not covered
Plain,
in
you mean?
Yeah, I'm saying a calm. It's a calm, boring salad.
No, that's not a...
With
calm
grilled
is
chicken.
Good. Boring's not good.
With grilled chicken on top. They did so well, and supper time comes, and they're dying. And they get a cheeseburger and fries and a milkshake.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
I didn't look at you at all. I tried
You're
not
looking
to.
at me now. You try not to. She's like, I willfully chose not to look at you.
And so now you have a choice what you're going to do with your words, right? You can be like, dude, you told me you were going to go on this healthy eating plan and you couldn't last one full day. You suck. Like, you could say that. It kind of is true in a way, right? Like, they didn't make it one full day.
Call him Fatty McButterpants and all that good
whatever
stuff.
Fun things you can come.
Fat Sajak.
Yep, you could say that.
Fat Damon.
Yep. Or
What could you do instead?
you could say, listen, it's okay that you messed up tonight. Think about how great you did at breakfast. Think about how great you did at lunch. In between the meals, you didn't snack. Like, you did a great job. Yeah. So it's all about what you're focusing in on. And if you are their biggest fan, you're going to be celebrating the wins, no matter how small they are. And when you praise your spouse, especially in front of others, you breathe life into their spirit.
Yeah.
So, your kids are listening too. And if you are putting your spouse down by focusing on the ways that they failed that day instead of the wins that they had, your kids are seeing that too. And they're learning from that.
Well, and it's the difference between watering and cultivating a garden or just like stomping through it.
Yeah.
Right? You have a chance to help nourish and provide an environment where they can grow and flourish. Or you could just completely destroy them, their spirit, their will to change, and whatever else, and their motivation. So choose kind of what you want to be. And that's exactly what cheerleaders do, right? I mean, you won't watch, but all of us out here, we're watching sports stuff, football, basketball, and all that, and it literally doesn't matter how much a team is losing by. Like, their cheerleaders are still out there cheering.
Yes, right.
They're still out there trying to hype up their fans and hype up their team and all of that. And so even when bad plays happen, they're still out there encouraging that. So that is a great reminder, and it kind of leads to, this thought process. Encouragement in tough times is when it matters most.
So true.
Life throws challenges at us. None of us are immune from difficult times. In fact, we just had a lady in our church. I went to help her yesterday because she had an issue where her fridge just started leaking like crazy. So she had water all over her floor.
She's in her 80s. Her husband's in his 90s.
Yeah, so like they're not able to move fridges and all that kind of stuff. So I went over to help them, and we were waiting for the plumber because she had an old copper, pipe hook up behind her fridge that nobody else would touch. And so waiting for the plumber, and she's just kind of sharing to me the things that are going. She's got an issue with their car, and there's an issue with the foundation of her house, and she just starts listing all these things that are happening, and it's just like, that is rough.
Yeah.
But life happens to all of us. whether it's career struggles, personal failures, self-doubt, everything in your house starts breaking down all at once, which it seems like that's what happens.
It does, yeah.
Like one thing goes and then everything's like, hey, you know what? Let's join in. But being your spouse's biggest fan during these low moments reminds them that they're not alone.
Yeah.
And I am not in this alone. And I love what 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says. Therefore, encourage one another and build one another up just as you are doing. And he encourages these believers and says, hey, you are doing a great job of encouraging each other, building each other up. And of course, this is a church who is facing persecution, facing hardship and poverty and all the stuff. And he's saying, hey, you guys are cheering each other on. And that is a fantastic thing to do. And that's exactly what we should be doing as spouses. And because if we're called to build up all believers, how much more should we build up the one we vowed to love, honor, and cherish for the rest of our lives?
That's right. And I think about like a true fan of a sports team. Now, I'm going to try to do a sports analogy here.
Oh, boy.
So everybody have low expectations.
This is not going to go well.
It's going to go great. You think about a true fan.
Okay.
Like Thomas Osterkamp with the Hawkeyes.
Okay. Yeah, you're watching on YouTube. You can see the sticker on my computer right here.
Yeah, he's a Hawkeye fan, diehard, true and true Hawkeye fan. Do the Hawkeyes always make it to the bowl games?
No. How
do they usually do?
Not well.
Yeah, but are you still a fan?
I am, yeah.
Even in the hard times. Right?
I will say this, I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, yeah. You are a fan that is a true fan, whether or not they're having a good year or not. And that's the deal, is like our cheering on our spouse, the fact that we are their fan should not be dependent on their success or any of that. It shouldn't be dependent on anything. It's not performance based. It's because we love them and we are loyal. Yeah. Right? We said I do. We said till death do us part. And you're going to cheer them on and be their biggest fan even in the hard times, right? And that's a true fan, yes?
Yeah.
In sports. All right.
It's nice when they actually do something nice, though.
Yeah. But you'll still wear the Hawkeyes.
I do. I wear my Hawkeye hat almost every day. And
yeah.
This is like one of the few episodes I don't have that hat on for today.
Yeah. Now, how was my sports analogy?
It was all right.
Okay.
It was all right.
I didn't bomb.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Why should you be your spouse's biggest fan? Because it's going to counter outside negativity for your spouse. The world, I don't want to say the world can be critical. I want to say the world is critical.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much negativity and criticism in the world. And you just look at social media for that.
Oh,
right?
yeah. You got to wade through the garbage to find something good, which is why I try to be the good, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, we want to be that voice of hope and that voice of light. But the world is critical. And so having one person, at least, who genuinely believes in you unconditionally, not based on performance or like how great you are at that moment, even in your rough moments, that can be the anchor that gets you through the outside criticism. Or, maybe the failure and the self-doubt that you have, because a lot of times you have failure, you have self-doubt, you start talking negatively to yourself even. And there's disappointment in life and everything, and criticism kills, but encouragement cultivates. So that's what we want to be. While there is going to be criticism coming into their life from other outside sources, no matter what, you're going to hear it. You can be the one who cultivates with encouragement. And I love this verse in Proverbs. It says, a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands.
Wow.
Now, even though that's talking about a woman, it really can apply to both spouses, because you can either build up your spouse with your support, or you can tear them down with your criticism or comparison to others. Why can't you be more like so-and-so? That should never come out of your mouth. You want to be their greatest encourager, not their harshest critic. And yet, man, in marriage, we can be the harshest critic, huh?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Let me just be honest. I have really high expectations of Thomas.
Yeah. I
have like probably unattainable.
I rarely live up to whatever the expectations are for anything around here.
Yeah. Do you feel bad? Does anybody feel bad for Thomas? I do. I feel bad for you.
Yeah. They all do. The comments are flooding in right now.
Poor Thomas.
Yeah.
We actually talk about this in our book, Happily Never After, about expectations that are reasonable and ones that are unreasonable. And I know I have a lot of unreasonable ones, and I work on that. But
You can pick that up at familymeeting.org/shop.
nice, babe. But I don't want to be like that. I want to have expectations that are reasonable, and I don't want to tear you down, with the things that maybe you can't meet everything all the time, right? I don't want to compare you to other people. I want to celebrate you for the good. And there is so much good in you. And you work hard and you try hard and you're loving. And
I feel like you're like Luke Skywalker right now talking to Darth Vader, where it's like, there's good in you. I know it.
Underneath all the evil, there's definitely good in there.
I know you slaughtered all those children, but there's good in you. You wiped out an entire planet. The good's in there. I know it. Yeah.
I'm not denying it.
So, this we could go on. This is the last one I'll kind of share about the why.
Yeah.
And that is, it deepens love and intimacy. Mm-hmm. Cheering someone on is a form of love in action. It shows attentiveness, loyalty, and pride. And that deepens the emotional intimacy of your relationship. And of course, we know that marriage reflects the relationship between Christ and the church. Mm-hmm. And I'm constantly trying to remind myself, along with other husbands, that we are commanded in Ephesians 5:25 to love our wives as Christ loved the church. And of course, how did he love the church? It says he gave himself up for her, sacrificially. And Jesus is the church's biggest advocate.
Yeah.
As Christ loves and intercedes for us, spouses should mirror that by lifting each other up sacrificially and consistently. And so you want to deepen your spouse's love for you and your love for them. Hey, cheer them on. Be their biggest fan. And you'll see that will grow. So let's kind of get into the more practical side of, ways to be their biggest fan. We've talked a little bit about the whys, and I think the first thing you have to do if you're going to be their biggest cheerleader is to get the outfit. You've got to have the cheerleader outfit.
Oh, are you going to get a male cheerleader outfit?
Yeah, you're into male cheerleaders?
Not really.
No one is.
That's not true. You could just hurt a bunch of feelings out there of people who are male cheerleaders. I don't know what are, I don't know how many male cheerleaders listen to this podcast, but if there is one, you have just offended them. You have the muscles for a male cheerleader. They're very muscular. They lift.
They're very athletic.
Throw. So, yeah, they're amazing, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. The outfits aren't flattering.
It's not the outfit I would choose for you.
No, not very flattering.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No. But I hope by now we have convinced all of you that you should be your spouse's biggest fan. I'm guessing there's nobody who's holding out and like digging their heels in.
Like, no, I don't want to be.
So now I think we've convinced you that it should be you.
It's not like we're talking to Ohio State fans trying to get them to cheer for Michigan. Like, hopefully your marriage relationship isn't like that. And some
rivals.
Some people out there are like, what do those two things have to do with each other?
I know they're rivals.
Yeah.
That I
hated rivals.
Oh, hated. They didn't know about the hate.
They hate each other. Yeah. So like during that week, they call it hate week. During the week, those two teams are going to play each other. Like, people from Ohio won't write the letter M.
No.
They literally leave the letter M out of typing and writing. That's literally how big that rivalry goes.
That is so funny.
So we're not asking you, Michigan fans to cheer for Ohio or whatever. It's like, This is your spouse. So
yeah, you should already be on board with them. Okay. So here is one thing that you can do, and this is something that we should all be doing, speaking well of them in public and in private. So often I think there are opportunities for us to bash our spouses.
Oh, we give them plenty of ammo. Like, I do stuff all the time that would give you so much opportunity just to talk crap about me constantly.
Well, and I do too.
And I assume you're not doing that. I mean,
You assume? Well, just
I believe the
keep
best.
assuming that. Yeah, good job.
I believe the best.
No,
Isn't that
I
what it
try
says?
always to only speak positive about you. And now, caveat. Thomas and I both want our marriage and our lives to be an open book for all of you so that you can learn from us, including learning from our mistakes.
Totally.
So there are absolutely times where we will tell the story of how the other failed or how we failed ourselves in order to try to help you learn from our mistakes.
But we're not doing that without going, hey, Lysandra,
Yeah.
I think this would be a great help in this scenario, whether it's a personal conversation, coaching call, or sermon or session. It's like, okay, Lysandra, I feel like this would be helpful. Is it okay with you if I share this?
Yeah, and certainly there's not only the permission is involved there, but the spirit in which you are talking about them, right? The
Right.
spirit is, we had this problem, but we've come through it and we're working on it and all of that. So it's not just like bashing the spouse, but
Yeah, that's way different than like hanging out with the boys and just bashing on your wife.
Right.
Which, that happens. And it's
Yeah.
from time to time, people don't do that a lot in my presence, but there's times where it happens and it's just like, I never think well of the person who's doing that.
Right. It actually makes them look worse, not their spouse.
Right. It says a lot about you when you're going to just dog the person who you're supposed to be the closest to.
I'm guessing that if you are in lots of situations where everyone's bashing their spouse to you, it is because you are giving off that vibe that like, yeah, I'm in, let's do this.
Yeah,
Let's talk about
why do people feel comfortable doing that to
Around you.
Yeah.
Right, because people don't do that to me either, except for now we obviously we do marriage
Counseling.
coaching and counseling.
Yeah.
So when we're in those sessions, the whole goal is to get to the heart of the problem in the relationship, and that takes the stories and this is what happened and this is what he said and this is how he hurt me, and that's a completely different situation than what we're talking about.
Right, you're trying to get help and work through it.
Yeah.
This is just like a gripe session we're talking about.
Right. Where I just want someone to complain to about how terrible my spouse is. That should never happen. In fact, the reverse should happen, right? So
I can't relate to any of you guys because my wife is amazing. So sucks to be y'all, I guess.
why did that sound so fake and like sarcastic?
No, it didn't. I'm honest.
think it
I'm being
did.
genuine. My voice did not go high at all. Not higher than normal.
So even if, and maybe you're thinking like, you don't know my spouse. I don't have anything good to say about them in public. They're mean, they're whatever.
I mean, there's
find something.
there's something good to say about just about everybody.
Do they go to work every day? Do they help you pay the bills? Do they, show up every night at home? There's things. There's something there, and what you need to do is find that thing, or a few things, and talk about it, and uplift them in public. So when you're with a group of friends, be like, "Oh, it was so amazing. Thomas took out the trash, and I didn't even ask him, and I was so happy about it."
And those of you who listen to our podcast know what a huge deal that is.
That is a big deal. You've been doing so good about that. And so how can you speak well of them in public and then also in private when it maybe is just you and a friend or you and your mom or whatever, but also just the two of you?
Yeah.
Like talking about the positivity in their life. And both Thomas and I try to do this a lot for one another, where we will try to say things like, "I'm really proud of you for going to the gym 4 out of 7 days. Like, great job there. I know how hard that was to get up."
Yeah.
Just things like that.
Yeah.
Anything to add to that?
No, just like you've gone to the gym a couple times this week. That is huge.
3.
Yeah.
I've gone to the gym 3 days in a row.
Yeah, that's huge. That's what I'm saying. That's a win.
Yeah, I am winning.
Yeah. You got 3 massages, 3 tans. I mean, you're.
I did not. I did not.
But this kind of brings me to the next thing, and that is celebrate their wins, big or small. So I celebrate you, truly. Like I'm not being disingenuous right now. Like I mean it.
Does anybody else think he sounds sarcastic right now?
You're looking at me like I'm being disingenuous. I actually mean it.
Okay.
Because I know how difficult that is for you. See, then you can just undo all the good things.
You totally
just
undid
said.
everything because you're making it sound like I never go to the gym and all of a sudden I went 3 days. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
I go consistently, but I was in Iowa away from a gym.
Away from a gym?
Yeah.
You go to Planet Fitness, they're everywhere.
In Walker, Iowa, there's a Planet Fitness.
Oh, you weren't in Cedar Rapids at all?
Nope.
Liar.
Not at 5 a.m.
Yeah, but I celebrate your wins.
You're telling me how bad I am. You're not making me feel good.
No, the last 3 days. That's what I'm saying. Small wins. Like, that's amazing.
You're making it sound like 3 days going to the gym is a big deal for me. That is my norm.
No, I said big. It says big or small. That's what I'm saying. That's a small win. 3 days.
You are absolutely doing the opposite of what you're trying to do, unless you're trying to be mean.
No, I don't think I am.
Disagree. Disagree.
So celebrate if they do something great, or maybe it's just something that's like a little better than normal.
This could be
Celebrate.
a way to be passive aggressive towards your
But
spouse.
no, we're not doing that.
Aren't you?
No, I said we. We're not doing that.
No.
That's my thing.
Well, you're good at it.
Here's one you're
Hey,
not.
you're good at being passive aggressive. Great
Thank you.
job.
Yeah.
Win.
So here's one you're not great at, but why don't you tell us what it is?
Okay. I'm sorry you're making me laugh so much. Okay. Support their dreams.
I was cracking up when I saw that you had to say that.
I do support your dreams in a realistic way.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I am known as the dream killer.
Yeah.
That is me. Dream killer. It's weird. I'm a complicated person because
Yeah.
I am an optimist in general.
Yeah. You're just like, I know you can't do it. It's like the one area where you're a realist. She's like positive about everybody. Like, it change. They can change. They'll get better. That relationship will work out. They won't stab me in the back for the 8th time. Surely.
But then you have a dream and I'm like, I don't think you can do it.
Yeah, you're definitely not doing that.
This is something I'm working on, people, okay? I want to support Thomas's dreams. Thomas is a dreamer. He is a visionary. He sees what everything could be, and he dreams really big. In the beginning of our marriage, this terrified me, mostly financially, because I was afraid he was going to take big financial risks to make these dreams happen.
Oh, I'm looking out our window. We're in our living room. I'm looking out the window, and I am seeing the pool with the slide and all that stuff for our future grandkids.
Which I love that dream.
Like, I'm seeing it out there.
But that is not financially possible.
No, but if someone would like to donate $100,000 to my dream pool.
For our grandkids.
It's for my grandkids.
It's for the children.
Can you not love my grandkids? I mean...
The grandkids you don't have.
Yeah, but I would love to, like... I think that we need a good 5 to 10 years to break the pool in, just to find all the safety issues. So
For the kids?
Yes.
It's all for the kids.
Yeah. So I'm a big dreamer.
You are a big dreamer. And I love that about you and hate that about you. Like, it scares me because I'm always afraid of like what he's going to do. But he did teach me in the beginning of our marriage, or no, not the beginning, the middle of our marriage. He taught me that just because he was dreaming didn't mean that he was going to do things without talking to me first or make bad choices financially. Like, everything would be, we would agree on things.
Yeah.
Before you did things to make dreams come true.
Well, and here's the thing. I am a dreamer. I'm not a details person. So I need the details person, and that's where you come in. It's like, okay, this is the dream. Now I'm going to need you to take 20 paint jobs.
In addition to the ones I already do.
Yeah, and then pay
more.
for the pool.
Right.
But I'll dream it. You just got to make it happen.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's where I'm like, I can't, and that won't work.
You actually are, like we were joking about this, 'cause in the past it's been soul crushing. But I will say you've been very great at this lately.
Good.
So this is talking about celebrating wins and growth and all that. Like, you've been very good at supporting my dreams.
Good. I definitely try. And then the other thing that you want to support them with is their calling. So maybe you have a spouse like I do who's called to ministry. Actually, Thomas has a spouse who's called to ministry also.
We both do, yeah.
Yeah, just a different role. But, and And maybe it's you don't find yourself called in the exact same way as them, but you can still support their calling. Maybe their calling is like things like fostering children.
Yeah.
That's going to affect you in a big way, but you're like, this is not really my thing, but okay, if you want to do that, I'm going to support you in it. But, support them in their growth too.
I mean, just a little caveat. I think if you're going to foster kids, you probably both need to be on the same page.
Yes. But can one spouse be called and the other one just be called to support that spouse? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you might have one that's going to take on but you still have to be like on the same page. Like, we're going to do this, right? I'm not just going to go out and like sign a contract for a big pool, unless you're at least a little bit on board.
I'm not.
I know. Not yet. You're not.
Not yet.
I got the girls working on it.
They're working on me. I'm not. I want the pool too.
You heard it. That's it.
That's
the little bit I was looking for.
I'm looking for the reality, babe.
What if I just get a double mortgage on the house?
Yeah, I'm not okay with that.
And we need to do a financial episode again, I think.
Yeah, but you can't teach it. But support them and think about this. How are you supporting your spouse? Are you really supporting them in their dreams, their calling, their growth, like everything, every aspect about them, their job, their goals in career, their goals with relationships? Sometimes it is the situation where they have a goal to repair a relationship and you're like, no, let it go. Just be done with it, whatever. And can you support them in that pursuit or whatever else it might be?
Another way that you can be their biggest fan is to pray for them and with them.
I love this one.
And you should be praying every day for your spouse.
Yes.
You love them more than anyone. And so what better way to support and encourage them is to go to the Heavenly Father about them and just seek His blessing and His protection and guidance and all of that on your spouse. We do, as followers of Jesus, believe there is great power in prayer. And, Jesus taught us how to pray, and He taught us we ought to be making intercessory prayers for people, which are prayers on behalf of other people. And so we ought to be praying on behalf of our wife and our husbands and just going to God for every area of their life, and also praying with them.
I think this is really important.
And just transparency. This is not, we don't do this probably as much as we would like, as we would hope to. But there's something special about hearing Lysandra go to God on my behalf and just hearing her pray over me. And you can just kind of hear the love, the affection, the desire for me and for my well-being and for my personal growth and all those sorts of things, and for God to bless the things that I'm doing. Hearing that person you love the most and that loves you the most, literally hearing the words and the passion and the desire is such an encouraging and uplifting thing. And there's just something about it that it's different.
Yes.
Like, it's great to hear my wife say things to me, and that's a big part of it. We've already mentioned that. The encouragement, the thanks, the whatever. But there's something different and unique about hearing her talk to the creator of the universe on my behalf. That is just so moving, so powerful, so uplifting. And so if you want to, let your spouse know that you are cheering them on, there are fewer things that will be more encouraging than for them to hear you going to God for them.
Yes. All right, here's another way that you can practically be your spouse's biggest fan, and that is to show interest in what matters to them. This is really important. It's okay for you and your spouse to have different interests. That's totally normal. That's okay. It's not a bad thing. But show interest in it. It doesn't mean that you have to watch every game with them. You can.
Right, yeah. You tried.
Yep, I tried that one year. But also like one thing that I did, because I'm not into sports and he is like I would always go to the football games and wear all the gear and scream for the team.
Well, most of the time it was for a team.
Yeah, sometimes I got it wrong. But most of the time
I'm
I
like,
got it
no,
right.
not them.
Yeah.
They're wearing red.
it's the worst thing is when they're all wearing white and then they have like just little bits of detail of their own color, and so everybody looks white uniforms.
They don't really do that, but
Oh, I feel like I've seen that somewhere where I had a hard time.
I don't think so.
All right, well, anyway.
Usually one team wears white and then one team wears their colored,
Yeah.
whatever their color is.
Okay, so showing interest though in that kind of way could simply be, the game. He watched the game. I come home and I'm like, hey, did we win or lose? And I'm saying we, like I'm identifying with him, and he'll tell me, and I'm either like, oh,
Usually you can
really
tell.
Sorry.
Usually you can tell before I say it.
Not
like,
as much anymore.
Ooh, they didn't.
It doesn't
do well
affect you
today.
as long as it did in the past, as deeply or as long lived.
Yeah.
You get over it faster.
Yeah.
But just hey, how'd we play? Okay, did you enjoy watching the game? Whatever. But just trying to show some interest in the things that they are interested about. In definitely their work. You should be showing interest in their work. How did that relationship go? Were you able to repair what happened yesterday at work or whatever it might be? Asking those questions, that shows interest. And everyone knows subconsciously that when you ask them questions, you are interested in their life.
Yeah.
So when was the last time you asked your spouse a question about the things that are important in their life? If it's been a while, you need to do that now, and you need to do it frequently.
Yeah, because we've all been sitting across the table or standing across from somebody, and they've never once asked you one question about your own life.
Yep.
And it's like, how much do you enjoy talking to a person where it's just about them? Not much.
It's usually pretty sacrificial at that point.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm definitely working for Jesus right now. But then you get in these conversations. I had one of these conversations with a guy who visited our church, and we sat down and had coffee, and I actually ordered a coffee drink. Coffee's probably in quotes. It was a banana bread latte.
Which, what was so funny about that is we were in Iowa and he took a picture of it and sent it to the group chat and was like, look, girls, I have a latte. And we're like, what?
Yeah.
All the girls are reacting.
From Sip and Surf. It was amazing. So if
Sip
you're
and
ever in
Surf
our
is
area.
good coffee.
Those
right
of you,
on the beach.
You come into Relationship Refresh. I mean, it's just down the road from where we're going to be having a relationship refresh. But I sat down with this guy, and before I knew it, 2.5 hours passed, and I'm not just sit down,
shoot the breeze kind of guy.
No, but it was like he was asking questions about me and our life and all those sorts of things. And of course, I'm turning around, I'm asking about him and his time living in Hawaii and just different places. And it was one of those things where it was like, I left and I was like, that was an amazing conversation, because it wasn't just about that person. Like, I knew genuinely this person was interested in finding out more about who I am also.
It wasn't one-sided.
Yeah. And so making sure that you're asking the questions and showing interest in your spouse really shows them that I'm supporting you. I am for you. I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest cheerleader. I want to know all about you, even the mundane things about your life and your day and all that. Mm-hmm. And then I think about this, and that is defend them, not tear them down. And we talked already a little bit about speaking well of them in public and private, and this is kind of the opposite side of that, where it's just like, hey, you're not going to be involved in the negative talk and the tearing them down and whatever else. Even when they do make mistakes or they fail or they disappoint you in this area or that area, I'm not going to take the opportunity to tear them down or to broadcast it or tell other people about it. Like, they don't need to know about that.
Yeah. And I like this idea of defending them, because there are going to be times when someone says something about your spouse that is negative, and it might be true. But defending them so this could look like, yeah, it's true, but here's why my spouse did that. Like, helping them to see the why behind it or what they're going through. And so you're defending them.
Oh, I'll say this. God help somebody who says something bad about you.
Yeah.
Or even if it's our kids. I'm like, what did you say about my wife?
Has there been a time when someone said something negative about me that you stepped in?
we had I'm not going to go into it, but we had a family situation, where you normally you just say, don't say anything. And this time you were like, you can say. And so I didn't have to bite my tongue. I was able to defend you in the way that I felt I needed to defend you.
Okay.
But I'm not going to go into details because, they don't need to know that.
Right. Okay. Because I was trying to think if I knew that had ever happened.
But even like the kids. So we had one of our kids, we were out doing something the other day, and one of our kids called while we were driving down the road.
Yes.
They were just very rude in the way that they were talking to you. And I didn't even hear it. I just heard you say, don't talk to me that way. And I wanted to grab the phone out of your hand and like chew them out.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what they said. Why aren't you looking at your phone?
Yeah.
That's what they said to me. I was like, excuse me? Who do you think you're talking to?
Yeah. You think you're your father? What is happening here?
Right. I'm like, I do not owe you anything. Like to be, I'm not held hostage by your texts.
Yeah. So like even our own kids, I'm like, don't even do that.
Yeah.
Like, and I've always been that with the kids. It's like, you better not talk to your mom that way.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's really important, to the defending them. And I think about that with the kids too, because don't ever jump on some bandwagon where your kids are ragging on your spouse and jump on that and be like, yeah, mommy's so terrible. Or yeah.
Well, that's the thing. If you do that, your kids will learn from that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll learn to talk negatively also, not just about your spouse, but about theirs someday.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Like they'll learn that behavior from you.
You're teaching patterns. So some final thoughts for all of us, and this comes from Philippians chapter 2, verse 4. It says, let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interest of others. And in marriage, selfless love means cheering for your spouse like their success is your own, because in God's eyes it is. We are one flesh. We are one team. And so when you are cheering for them and for the things that are important to them, and the things that will be for their well-being, you're also cheering for your own, because you are this one flesh, this team. So think about, how can you really, truly this week be your spouse's biggest fan?
And family meeting this week, you're going to sit down with your spouse and just have an open, transparent conversation. And it's going to start like this. Do you feel like I am your biggest fan? Like I'm your biggest support and source of encouragement? And then just talk about, hey, what are some ways that I can improve? And we've given you some of the ways that you can do that. And you may literally just have a conversation about, hey, do you feel like I speak well of you in public and private? Do you feel like I defend you? Like I support and, I go along with your dreams and your calling and the different things that we've talked about. And so you're kind of just opening yourself up for a little evaluation from your spouse. And then you can have conversations about, okay, how can I do that better? What are ways I can better support and encourage and cheer you on in the things that are going on in your life?
Thanks for joining us today. Please go and subscribe to the Family Meeting podcast from your favorite podcast provider. And if you found this information helpful, please share this episode on social media and invite your friends and family to listen in with you.
To find more content and information Lysandra and I provide, you can go to our website, familymeeting.org, or email us at info@familymeeting.org. You'd like to shoot us a text or just let us know thoughts on this episode, you can send a voice message at 904-257-3062.
And we want to invite you to join us for our next family meeting as we discuss 5 signs you're a lawnmower parent.
Lawnmower parent.
Yeah, so come tune in next week. And
some of you are like,
what's
lawnmower
parent? Some of you are
parent?
already Googling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a lawnmower parent because my kids are out mowing the yard. So
I think that makes you the opposite of a lawnmower parent.
No, because they're lawnmowering it and I'm parenting them. It makes sense to me. Thanks for joining us today for this family meeting. Have a great week, everybody. This meeting is adjourned. All right, so hopefully you are your biggest supporter. We just clapped Coconut, our dog.
Come here, boy.
Knows we're done.
Come here. You want to say hi to YouTube?
Normally we kind of
I can't reach him because my chair's too high.
normally we put him like away with the girls while we're recording, and Lysandra was like, "No, he'll be fine. He'll just lay there." And if you were paying attention, you saw my eyes kind of roaming around because he literally was everywhere today.
Here he is.
So, hi, boy.
He tried so hard, Daddy.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a good boy, but he couldn't.
He's ready. He actually wants a treat right now,
Yeah,
which is
he thinks he's gonna get a
he
treat
thinks
because we
he's
high
getting a
five.
special treat, and we're all done now. Hey, do you want a treat? Yeah, he does.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go get this dog a treat.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.